Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another random match here on WWE 2K16. This is the third of our Wrestlemania matches. We've already done the Battle Royal and Ryback versus Kalisto for the United States Championship. This is going to be the Usos versus the Dudley Boys in a tag team match. At the moment, it's still down as a tag match, but it wouldn't surprise me at some point if they made it into a tables match or something along them sort of lines. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, this one. I feel that the Dudley Boys will probably put the Usos over in this one. That's what I think will happen. We'll have to wait and see what happens, I suppose. But yeah, I feel that the Usos are going to be put over by the veteran Dudley Boys. And here we go. I cut a chunk of time out of that loading screen. When you've got a created arena and two created wrestlers, it does tend to take quite a bit longer. Right now, I've written this down this time. You know what I'm like for these two. Jimmy Uso is the one, when you look at him, his face paint is on the left. So he's on the left now, and Jey Uso has the paint on the right. So it should be a bit easier for me to know which one's which for this match, because I'm generally really bad. It's difficult enough when you've got identical women twins wrestling together and they've both got the same tattoo, and it gets awkward. So yeah, it's interesting to see the Usos. They've not really been given a lot in WWE. They've always sort of been around. They've always sort of been, around the title picture, but they've never really had much in the way of feuds. And this one against the Dudley Boys is sort of the best they've really been given for a long time. Normally they've had situations where they've been involved in higher feuds, like they've backed up Roman Reigns or they've backed up John Cena, but they've actually been given their own feud this time against the Dudley Boys, and I think it's really helped them out, put them over a little bit. And here, of course, are the Dudley Boys. Now, these are the best ones on the Community Creations. I think Devon looks really good, but I think Bubba needs a bit of work. But it's the best ones that are available on the Community Creations. Of course, I would imagine that on 2K16, we will definitely 2K16 on 2K17, we will definitely be getting the Dudley Boys as permanent characters on the game. I think that's just only obvious, but that will mean we'll have the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian. We're 2/3 the way of creating our own TLC match. Of course, I do like this arena. It's a really good arena. The only thing that annoys me is that you can still, in some images, see the Wrestlemania 19 logo floating around. But we got the correct logo knocking around. There it is there, the Wrestlemania logo. The Usos versus the Dudley Boys. Part 3 of our Wrestlemania random matches. We've got all 11 matches being uploaded today. One on the hour, every hour, leading up to the pay-per-view. We've already done the Battle Royal, we've already done Ryback versus Kalisto. This is the Usos versus the Dudley Boys, and next is going to be the 6 Diva tag team matches. Natalya, Paige and Brie Bella take on Tamina, Naomi and Lana. That'd be interesting. Not seen Lana in the ring on this game before, so it'd be interesting to see how she gets on. I've not seen Lana in the ring at all, to tell the truth. I've not really been watching a lot of Raw and SmackDown recently. I watch the highlights every now and again. I always read what happened on Raw and SmackDown, but I watch the highlights every now and again. Yeah, I've not watched a lot of it, so it'd be interesting to see just how good Lana is actually in the ring. I know she's been training for a very long time, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, really, does it? And at the moment, it is Jimmy. No. That's Jey Uso in the ring. Okay. Jey Uso's in the ring. Samoan drop, but I think Bubba's feet actually took the referee out there. No one's really taken advantage of it, though. I'm going to make sure I keep my notes in front of me so I can remember which Uso is which Uso is which. That makes sense. Bubba there, the belly-to-belly slam. And now looks to bring in his partner, Devon Dudley. Yeah, it'd be good to see. I think it's going to be 2K17 has the potential to have an absolutely incredible roster. When they get people like the Dudley Boys on there, obviously AJ Styles, hopefully 2K are being wise enough to get Nakamura, Gallows and Anderson all scanned. And then I would imagine we're going to get a bigger NXT roster this year as well. You're going to have the Divas as well, of course, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, they'll all be on the game as well. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to just start to see how big and how in depth the roster is going to be. And it all depends on what sort of storyline they're going to go for with the showcase modes as well, because that generally dictates quite a big chunk of the game. And I wonder who they're going to focus on. We've done Hogan, we've done Austin now. I just got a feeling it could be something Cena based. Maybe the early career of Cena or something along them sort of lines, which will give us quite a few of the ruthless aggression wrestlers, I would imagine, from the early career of Cena. It's a possibility. It's something we'll have to keep an eye out on, I suppose. I can't think of what else there would be. I like the My Career mode, and I think they can really build upon what they did on that one. I think if they had more NXT guys in there as well, I think that'd be pretty good. But I think NXT-wise, I would imagine they'll be doing Apollo Crews and probably Elias Sampson, adding on to the guys who've already got this year, of course. And hopefully some more tag teams. I think American Alpha and the Revival, all sort of tag teams that will probably be involved in the game as well. And of course, we've already got Blake and Murphy from this year, so I would imagine we're not going to lose any NXT guys from this year. All will still be on the game, and they'll probably just add a few extras to it. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So of course, this is Jimmy Uso in the ring now. Working over Diva. I'm doing a pretty good job of it as well, actually, at the moment. A big knee to the face of Devon. And I was so close. I didn't do it on the end. I was so close to putting Rikishi at ringside for this match. And I feel that's something that could potentially happen at WrestleMania. Just a little bit more star power. We know The Rock's going to be there. We know Austin is due. We know Michaels is due. We know Mick Foley's due. So it wouldn't surprise me if Rikishi's there as well. I don't think Rikishi's ever going to be a name that's going to sell any extra tickets just to stand at ringside. But I think it's a potential he could be alongside. I'd be amazed if he's alongside the Usos. The Usos won the match, and then Rikishi came in and they all broke into the Too Cool dance. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see that. And now, of course, we have Jay in the ring now with Devon, and the Usos really dominating this match so far against Dudley Boys. Like I say, I can definitely see them being put over at Mania, and I do think they'll pick up the victory as well. There's the pin. 1, 2. Going there for a 2 count. And there's the head scissors there by Jay now. And I'm uploading these matches. I'm also trying to sort of guess what the order of matches are going to be as well. And judging by the way that WWE normally do things, they generally put some of the big matches. They like to split them with some smaller matches in between. So I've got, like for example, I've got Styles and Jericho. Then I've got Lesnar and Ambrose. Then I've got New Day versus League of Nations. And then we go into the ladder match. Then we go into the women's match. So it sort of like breaks up some of the higher matches. I'm really looking forward to Charlotte, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. I think Sasha Banks is going to walk out of WrestleMania with the Women's Championship. But as long as WWE give that match enough time... Oh, great double super kick there by the Usos. Jimmy now bringing Devon back up to his feet. Yeah, as long as they give the Women's Championship match enough time, I think it would really be a really good match. So I'm hoping that. Of course, we'll speak about that a bit later on when we do the random match for the Women's Championship, which I'm hoping is going to work out well. I know on this game sometimes triple threats don't necessarily work as well as we hope. Sometimes they're a little bit they're a little bit dodgy, depending on momentum and energy. I think sometimes, because the amount of triple threat matches I've seen where someone is just stood there doing the lack of energy sort of animation, while somebody else gets the pinfall victory. They just stood there watching the pin, and it's a little bit frustrating, but hopefully we get a good finish between Becky Lynch, Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Well, they're trying to go for a belly to belly there, but it was Jimmy Uso breaking free. I'm still struggling to keep track of Uso. Neck breaker there by Jimmy Uso. In for the pin he goes on Bubba. 1, 2. Oh, close to a 3 count already. To say, I firmly feel the Usos are going to be put over this evening, but I don't think they'll have this much of the match. I think the Dudleys will probably dominate the most part of the match, and the Usos will probably come back with a hot tag and pick up the victory from that. I don't see him dominating the match this much, but here is the hot tag. It's gone the other way. Bubba making it into Devon. Devon taking both Usos out. And now looks to, he could even win the match here. There's his finishing manoeuvre. That's the reverse Bloody Sunday, of course, used by Finn Balor as well. 1, 2, he's going to do it. No, he doesn't. That would have been quite a good finish, that would have been. That was on Jey Uso. Who managed to kick out after 2. That was really good. I've not seen that. It works really well with a hot tag. You take both guys out and then you hit your finishing manoeuvre for the win. That's really good. I like that. Bubba with a clubbing blow across the back of Jey Uso. And there's a big flapjack. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to remember which one's which. Jimmy left, Jey right, Jimmy left, Jey right, Jimmy left, Jey right. It's easy. And Jey is actually busted open now by Bubba. I think it was when he hit that flapjack. That right hand is not going to help the situation any much either. The match is now on the outside, and if there's anyone you do not want to be outside with, it's one of the Dudley boys. Of course, starting their careers in ECW, they know all about using their environment to their advantage. And an armbar here by Bubba Ray. And there is rumours, I've heard rumours again that the WWE might be looking to take Bubba on a singles run like they did in TNA. Which is great for Bubba, but it doesn't really help Devon too much, because I don't think Devon has enough charisma in the locker to really go all out as a single star. I think it could work, but I just don't think Devon's really a single star. Bubba, it works for Bubba, but I think these two work better as a tag team. I think staying together as a tag team and sort of helping to put over the younger teams like they are at WrestleMania against the Usos, I think that's the best way to use the Dudley boys. Uso bringing Bubba up and taking him straight back down. Is he going to make the tag into his brother? He does. Here comes a Jimmy. Little Jimmy. And a clubbing blow across the back of Bubba, who was getting closer and closer to Devon, but doesn't quite make the tag. And now Jimmy bringing Bubba back up to his feet and sends him straight away from the Dudley's corner. Great tag team moves there. Just trying to cut the ring in half, trying to keep Bubba away from his partner. You can see Bubba's desperate to make the tag. Now Jimmy Uso up top. Big super backdrop. And he's perfectly positioned. I thought he was going to go for the splash from the corner then. In for the pin he goes. 1. This could be all. It's not. Bubba just had enough to kick out. Jey taking Devon out of the match though. Now Jimmy going for the knee to the back, but Bubba avoids it. Bubba using his big strikes to get back into this one. And there he is, taking Jimmy down. Bubba now with a pin of his own. 1, 2. Oh, that was close to 3. Jey might have been second guessing his decision not to come in and break that one up then. And Bubba with the head scissors now just elbows to the forehead of Jimmy. And all of a sudden the Dudley's taking a bit more control of this match, and Bubba needs to make the tag, and he finally does to Devon. Devon, the fresh man in this one. Bubba's taking the majority of the damage. Devon sending Jimmy into the corner. Now just pushing his foot into the face of Jimmy Uso. Jimmy breaking free from the corner. But Devon straight back in control. Front chanting now just taking Jimmy across to the corner. A double gutbuster by the Dudley boys. Now this is what I firmly think are we going to see at WrestleMania. Just these two just dominating the Usos. Oh, Bubba just taking Jey off the apron, but took his eyes off Jimmy. Maybe not the wisest idea. He thought he had Jimmy incapacitated enough to go and deal with Jey. Just spears him off the apron, and Jey's still down. Shades of his father Rikishi there, Jimmy. Rolling Bubba over. And a big drop kick to the side of the head. And here comes Jay back into the match. Jay will be looking for a bit of retribution against Bubba after that spear off the apron. And this match has been going a fair while now. We're up to coming up to about 16 minutes of recording. Granted, it'll be less for you because I've cut that extra bit of the loading screen out. But here we go. We're looking for a bit of Uso here. There's the big splash. You've got to take Devon out of the equation though. 1, 2, and it's enough. Devon was too slow coming into the ring, and the Usos do pick up the victory, and they get put over by the Dudley boys. A little bit annoying the fact that Devon was so slow. That's one of the things that gets me about this game, is when they use tag team finishes like they just did there, which is great to see. I love to see the tag team finisher being used, but the guy that makes the tag instantly leaves the ring, whereas I think part of the tag team finisher should be taking your opponent off the other apron. Because it was a really good match, it was a really good finish. It's just a little bit of a shame that the way it works with Devon just slowly getting his way into the ring. But still, this is what I expect to happen this evening. I expect Dudley boys to dominate massive chunks of the match, do some damage to the Usos, but the Usos to come back and to pick up the victory eventually as well. And I think that's a great way for the Dudley boys really to put the Usos over and just try to elevate them up to another level. Like I say, the Usos have always sort of been around, but they've never really been involved in much. I think they've held the tag team championships once. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see them being sort of used a bit more. And I think if there is a roster split and both rosters have their own tag team championship, then I think the Usos will probably do a lot better in that. But there is the victory, and that is part 3 of our random matches done for today. I hope you are enjoying them. We've got another 8 still to come, 1 an hour leading up to WrestleMania. Next one for you is going to be the women's 6-man tag. I know at WrestleMania it's going to be an 8-woman tag, but I've had to knock it down to 6 because of the game's constraints. We're going to see Natalya, Paige and Brie Bella taking on Tamina, Naomi and Lana. So I hope to see you all then. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit that like button. It does really help me out. It makes the video easier to find in the search function, and ergo, it grows the channel as well. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe for a lot more of these random matches. We've got another 8 coming today at least. If you check out the description below, there is a link to the playlist where you can watch all the NXT TakeOver random matches we did on Friday as well, which were really, really good matches. And of course, there's another 60 or 70 matches on that playlist as well. And if you check out the channel, there's a lot of Universe Mode stuff we've done this year as well. I've been Chevy Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon for the Divas 6-woman tag match.